Last week, we learned that we must conduct research, up our game, and seek to dominate. Remember energy, passion, pacing, examples. If you missed this power-packed episode with Les last week, go back and watch the show. Make sure to grab a notepad and pen. This week, we will learn about creating a comeback story, creating a connection, the importance of taking time to pour into yourself, and more. Before we get started, remember that everyone has a preference to communicate with them. We must learn to speak each other's language. Some people want you to get straight to the point, while others desire to do all of the talking. Most people want to just make sure that everyone else is okay. Few just want the data, facts, figures. Episode 2 starts now.
Today, the majority of the speakers, they have a speech that they're proud of. My mother taught me, self-praise brings no recommendation. They're proud of this speech. They love this speech. And I said, have you asked the people you've spoken to, after you've spoken, how do you do? Oh, they gave me a standing ovation. Well, for the most part, people are not going to tell you whether it worked for them or not. And most part, people are courteous. They're going to be kind. They're not going to say anything. It just won't bring you back. And they'll tell their friends, oh, don't waste your time. He's going to give that same speech, child. I've heard that. This is your time. You have people hurting right now. And you're speaking with conviction. Why, Les? There's so much noise. So much noise. And it's seductive. It sucks you in. And when you are filled with anxiety that you're about to lose your home or you're about to be evicted and you don't have the money, as the article I read the other day that says America is home rich and financially poor, your voice, your story, the stories about people you saw that came through, the comeback stories, do some research of somebody who went from foreclosure to creating a fortune. Find some stories, some inspiring stories of people who've been there. It doesn't have to be yours. Be somebody else's story. Find quotes in alignment that your audience needs to hear. Hey, this is not the end. This is just a new beginning. You got this. You're more than a conqueror. You got this. It's easy to have faith in things are working out and your children acting like they got good sense. It's easy to have faith then. But when you're on the verge of having them knock on your door, like I did, Mr. Brown, yes, sir. May I help you, please? My deputy sheriff, we came, the house is being foreclosed on. You must leave today. And I'm clutching the Bible saying, and the Holy Quran, I'm standing on his word. Oh, the Kabbalah, I had the Kabbalah too. I had all three, the Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Kabbalah. And he said, no problem, sir. In all due respect, can you step outside the door on this sidewalk? Whoa. That was a punch in the gut. The second punch, the first punch when I had to tell my mother, Mama, I did something. I made a mistake. I haven't been able to sleep. I know, Leslie. I heard you walking upstairs. What's wrong, son? I made a mistake. I didn't do a title search. And we got to move out. I thought I'd be able to get the money again for a down payment, but I couldn't. We gotta go. We gotta go. Leslie? Yes, ma'am. I didn't like this damn house anyhow. What? You told me you loved this house. I loved it, son, because you loved it. Going up and down the steps, they hurt my knees. It's okay. Let's pack up and go. Whoa, she took it much better than me. And when we went back to the old house in Liberty City and opened the door, the roaches who were playing cards and shooting pool said, "Look at God." Now, here's what going on in the audience's mind. One, they're going to laugh. Some will cry and laugh in their tears. You can tell a story about somebody else who went through that kind of experience. But what they will know, and write this down, you're creating connection. And what you're doing is expanding their vision to understand and to know this is not the end of the road. That you know someone who went through that, and they are an example, not an exception. That all of us have our moments in the Garden of Gethsemane where we feel bad, where we're down on ourselves, and we are depressed and feeling anxious. Be anxious for nothing. Because as Quincy Jones said, everything must change. Nothing stays the same, including where you are right now. Life is like a roller coaster. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't work out. Dimples said, if it ain't one thing, it's another. So I want you to know, as you look at yourself, look at your goals, look at your dreams, that it's possible. I want you to look at the goals in your personal life. Why, Mr. Brown? I'm telling you about my financial goals. I understand, but if you don't get your financial life together after you take care of your personal life, your financial goals will suffer. You got to get your house in order. You got to take some time to pour into you. I think that the quote, "Give to yourself until your cup runneth over, and then give to others from the overflow," has a lot of power. It's time to take care of you, to focus on you. You can't give from an empty wagon. And so what I did was I focused on me. I saturated my mind with all type of positive messages. I read 40 to 50 to 60 pages every day. I kept saying to myself over and over and over again, yes, I can get a new home. Yes, I have. I see it in my mind's eye. I took a picture of it and I watched it and I looked at it. I gave thanks for the brand new home that I got for my mother. And then on the flip side of the card, a 3x5 card, I wrote, "Ask and it shall be given. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened. For everyone that asketh, receive it. He that seeketh, findeth. And to him that knocketh, it shall be open unto them." I read that a minimum of 3 times a day to saturate my mind, to reorientate my thinking, because our thoughts have magnetic power. We all have had experiences where we were thinking about somebody and about to call them and they called us. And you said, "Whoa, I was just about to call you." All of us have had those kinds of thinking experiences. Raise your hand if you hear what I'm saying.
There's something in you that says, I can do more.
Before the world ever knew or started using the word influencer, this man was influencing the world.
You have something special. You have greatness within you.
The godfather of greatness himself, Mr. Les Brown.
If you want to do anything worthwhile in life, you've got to be hungry.
Imagine being able to work with him on a weekly basis in live workshops. There are people that have already taken advantage of this opportunity, and he is creating amazing speakers around the world.
Every day that we wake up and we overcome the trials and tribulations that come our way, make us more than conquerors.
You gotta look your haters in the eye. You gotta look your situation in the eye.
They're living a legendary life because they're committed to be a legend.
I chose to tune out the noise of the problem that I was facing and tune in to the possibility that those voices were giving me.
Their stories are changing lives, not only for their families, their friends, but in their community and ultimately in the world.
Write a new story, one of victory, resilience, and accountability.
So no matter where you are right now in your life, I want to encourage you to pull those dreams off the shelf. Dust them off. Get a plan of action together and execute on that plan like your life depends on it.
You can become a part of this Power Voice Summit community and be a part of the Power Voice system by just going to powervoicetraining.com. There are people that have already taken advantage of this opportunity. Get started today.
Okay, and so what I'm doing here is, and let me emphasize this, energy is very important. If I said the same thing and then bring it with energy, it will not tune out the noise that's out here. You are the evangelist for your comeback. You are the evangelist for your dream. You are the evangelist for the next chapter of your life. And for you to get up in there and get in people's minds, not to take their lives, not to step in front of a train as one person did, the son of a friend of mine, in order to get under that stuff, under that negativity, because negativity is more powerful than positivity. But you've got to bring it. You've got to be all in. Your vibration must be so strong that one of your tears will bring them out of a coma. This thing called life. I had no idea. Just doing classes in my mother's living room to keep my spirits up because she was suffering from breast cancer. I had no idea how it would evolve. When you have big goals, the power of having big goals is that there's power in pursuit. And when you are singly focused, I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be a jack of all trades and master of none. I'm going to master this. I did what you're now doing. I invested in myself. I put my money where my mouth was and caught a bus from Miami to Plano, Texas to learn about the business part of speaking because I decided to do it. And I wanted to first deal with the messenger, me, and then my message. And that's how Mike Williams worked with me on that. And you have the opportunity. We know, I'll give you an example. Follow me. I want you to follow me. We can all agree that everything has changed. Would you agree? Raise your right hand, please, if you understand things have changed. Okay, so let me share with you. Robert Schuller said, There's no shortage of money, just a shortage of ideas. So, if you have some knowledge or experiences that you've gone through that can be beneficial to people and could be a guide for them, raise your hand, please, if you have. Okay, now, so attention is the new currency. Being able to draw attention to yourself with your voice, with your story, with your knowledge, with your experiences. So I'll give you an insight. I decided to do this just to do it. The 3 major keys right now, write this down. Mental resiliency. If you just decided to speak on that, to reduce the suicide rate, to reduce the number of people who will turn to drugs, alcohol, or some deviant, toxic, negative behavior. If you just decided to create a series dealing with how to build mental strength, how to live your life from the inside out, how to weather the storms of life, and partner with someone who will get a sponsor for you to go around and give those speeches. There are corporations who want to be involved and making their social contribution. So you create a series of videos in your home, like I'm doing one tonight, speaking for a women's organization. They said, would you come? I said, no, but I'll do a video for you. I said, okay, thank you. So I'm going to do a video after I finish talking to you tonight for them. And so I asked, what's your budget for a speaker? And let me pause here. When they ask you, do you want to come and speak to our group? It's a trap, because they want you to come do it free. Write this down and put it where you can see it. The more they pay, the more they pay attention. Oh, behave. Trust me on this. The more they pay, the more they pay attention. I flew from Ohio to Los Angeles to volunteer to speak to the Bloods and the other group. And I took 500 manuals. I flew at my own cost. I reserved the hotel room. I brought the manuals. And they had maybe 12 people in the room. Why? They kind of forgot. They dropped the ball. Why? They had no investment. But I tell you what, if they buy a $600 ticket to see Beyonce or some of those rappers, they won't lose the ticket. They're going to show up. They're going to be there. People, for the most part, they buy what they want and beg for what they need. I've been doing this for 51 years, and I know it to be true. When people have skin in the game, and they have skin in the game. I was at the Sheraton in New York, and because I used to park cars on Miami Beach, I gave these guys all of my videos at that particular time. And every time I would fly to New York, I stayed at this Sheraton on 45th Street, right down from the Broadway theaters. And I said, have you started listening yet? Oh no, but I don't get to it. I knew they hadn't. That's why they're still parking cars. Good lesson. Very good lesson. People have to invest in themselves. Why? Self-development is most important. My twin brother and I love my brother with all my heart and soul. And when we talk, the conversation, first of all, and our sister Margaret Ann, with the aches and pains. Yeah, my knee been bothering me. What's been bothering you, Leslie? I don't want to talk about that, Wesley, because what you talk about and focus on, it multiplies. Let's raise our consciousness. Whoa, oh, there you go again. Oh, my knee been bothering me too, but something else. What is it? Well, Juanita, she's got varicose veins. Wesley, listen to me. Let's raise the conversation. Tell me, what was the best part of your day yesterday? I don't know. I said, you know why? Because most people, Wesley, just try to get through the day. I've said this to you so many times. Create an agenda for your life. You want to get certain things out of the day. And part of what I do, I put something down that will bring me joy. So there you go, Mr. Mickey Mouse. Okay, it makes me laugh. M-I-C, see you real soon. K-E-Y-Y, because we like you. M-O-U-S-E. I saw your Mickey Mouse up there, okay. Yes, yes. And so I have friends that I talk to that we send funny memes back to each other and that crack up. Why? There's so much stuff happening. Crazy stuff. And sometimes I get up and I feel like there's layers of stuff on me. I don't know what it is. It's invisible. I don't know. And so that's why I go to the window and I say, Tyrone. And he said, yes, Mr. Brown. I said, come to the window. Tyrone is the squirrels that I talk to outside of my window. I just want you to know I'm doing real good. I'm learning how to speak squirrely. Yep, I'm about to become fluent in how to speak to squirrels. I think, but you're the only one that really understand me. The others, I probably have a thick accent. And my daughter said, who are you talking to in there? I'm talking to Tyrone, the squirrel. You have lost your mind. I said, am I really? I watch Richard Pryor, Red Fox. I watch things that make me laugh. And I make my own self laugh. Who talks about talking to squirrels? Hello? I did a motivational message yesterday and I tickled myself. And here's what I did. And I know you're going to get it. So I was talking about the fact that as you look at your goals and look at your dreams, that you've got to be serious about reaching your goals and dreams. You've got to be serious about going all in. And I winked. So then I kept on going. As you look at yourself and understand you're going to have a lot to overcome. And as you think about your goals, remember, you got to be hungry. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's Baby Boy. Now, how many of you know why I did that salute? How many of y'all know why I did that salute? Raise your hand if you know why I did the salute. Raise your hand if you don't know, raise your hand. You don't know? What did the president do when he stood in front of the White House? He stood there for a long time, and then out of nowhere, he saluted. So now when I give speeches, because it's in the collective consciousness. So I was talking to people around the world, and then I said, you know what? You got to be hungry. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's Baby Boy. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. Look here, I got so many laughs on it. And then I said, hello, oh, behave. I'm having fun. I made a statement. I didn't call any names. I wasn't being political, and I was. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh.
Another amazing episode with Mr. Les Brown. He dropped gold nuggets again this week. To recap, we learned the importance of connecting with the audience with our story. We also learned the importance of taking care of self first. Les talked about matching energy and frequency levels. We must first deal with the message, our business. Second, we must focus on our message, content. If this is your first episode, go back and watch last week before next week. You will need to know all of the information before moving forward. Next week, we will see Les in action. He will create stories for people from their life.